Hey, today I want to talk about why digital retailing fails at most dealerships. Hey, my name is David Farmer, and back in 1999, arguably, I created the first digital retailing technology for the automotive industry. This technology was named ePencil. It was actually a technology that I built for our business development center, which took incoming sales calls and internet leads back in 1999. That BDC was responsible for about 250 vehicle sales every single month in a dealership that sold between 500 and 600 cars on a regular basis. So going back to what ePencil was compared to what digital retailing is today, I think is very important, because at its core, it provided full transparency to customers in a way that seamlessly integrated into the dealership sales process. And that is the big reasons why I believe digital retailing will fail in most car dealerships, because what happens on the dealership website does not translate into what actually happens in the dealership showroom. So in this video, I'm going to provide 4 reasons why digital retailing fails in most car dealerships. So the first reason is, if you look at the digital retailing technology that is provided by most technology providers in the automotive space, it is complicated. We know that the purchase process of buying a car is complicated when we're looking at trade-in values, trade payoff, FICO scores, rebates, incentives, special financing offers, max advance for deal calculations. All of these finance products, credit applications, scheduling appointments, all of these things go into digital retailing. And it is the user experience in most digital retailing technologies today that become extremely cumbersome, to the point that customers are opting out after they start the process, so they never get to the point where they finish the digital retailing experience online to even translate into the dealership showroom. So that's the number one reason why digital retailing fails. And I would challenge you to go onto your dealership website and maybe do this with a family member. Sit down, have them go to your dealership website and say, hey, you're looking for a vehicle, find one that you like, and go through the process of buying a car online, or at least structuring the deal, getting their payment, making sure that they're getting their terms on your dealership website, and see if they're able to walk through the process without any assistance. I would even challenge some of your salespeople at the dealership to go through that process and see if they're able to complete the process without any assistance. So that's number one. The second reason is that what happens online does not translate into what happens in the dealership showroom. One of the things that was super successful with ePencil and using that in a BDC environment is that it created a transition document. That ePencil worksheet was a very simple recap of the entire deal. We pioneered the 9-payment grid, which resonated with consumers because it gave them choices and options, and it made sense to the salesperson, to the finance manager, the sales manager, the customer. There was no confusion around how the deal was structured and what those choices and options were. So that document provided full transparency to the price, the trade, the down payment, the interest rate, the estimates on down payments, monthly payments. Everything was encapsulated in that worksheet. If we go through most digital retailing technology solutions today, there is no transition document. There is no ePencil worksheet that becomes the ticket to a smoother experience at the dealership showroom. And I think that is a big part that's missing in an internal dealership sales process is you don't have that express ticket to a easier shopping experience at your dealership. And if you think about it, if we were to look at how car deals are put together between a walk-in customer and a referral from the general manager or the dealer principal at the dealership, if a customer comes into the dealership fresh, right on the lot, you're going to start to take that customer through every single step of the process, right? And you have to get the trade-in value. You have to get the trade payoff. Then you have to select the vehicle. Then you take a test drive. You do all of these things in your sales process. But on the other hand, you have this VIP experience or this express experience for customers that might be referrals to the dealership from the owner, the general manager, somebody of interest, right? And how that process usually works is, hey, what kind of vehicle are you interested in? Tell me a little bit about your trade. I'll go ahead and structure the entire deal. So when you come down to the dealership, we'll have the vehicle ready for a test drive. And as long as you love the vehicle, we'll provide you with estimates on down payments, monthly payments, and figures on your car. Is that something that would work for you? And it's that seamless experience that we want to duplicate with a digital retailing experience. And that's generally that's not happening in car dealerships. And that's not just my opinion, but if you look at the studies, the number one biggest challenge with digital retailing is the work that I do online is not translating to what's actually happening in the dealership showroom. The number 3 reason why digital retailing fails at most dealerships is that the personnel at the dealership is not trained on how to handle that digital retailing customer. You have the salespeople, the sales manager, the finance manager, all of these people who are working with customers when they visit the dealership showroom. They don't know how to handle that customer. And many times they don't even know that this customer has done that work online. And looking at how we can identify those issues comes back to what is the transition piece? How is a customer supposed to tell the salesperson in a way that they understand, and not because they might not understand, but maybe they're new. Maybe there is been some turnover at the dealership and that salesperson is just starting to take customers that come in. How are they to know how to handle that customer at point of contact? That transition piece where a customer finishes the digital retailing experience online and they have that Shopper Express ticket that they can hand to the customer or to the salesperson and say, hey, I was on your website, I structured the deal, this is the car I want to buy, this is the payment I want to pay. That is what made ePencil so successful over 20 years ago in this business, is because the ePencil worksheet became that ticket. It was very easy to say, hey, I was on the website, or I was talking to David in the BDC. This is the vehicle I want to buy. This is the price I want to pay. That's the deal right there. Here. And the salesperson, whether they've been in the business for 30 years, 30 days, or 30 minutes, would be able to look at it and go, okay, here's the vehicle, here's the price, here's the trade, here's the deal. And they're off to the races without any training. That also can translate into what's happening at the desk versus what's happening in your internet sales department. So, and also to a F&I manager. They can look at that and they know what the entire deal is if it is structured in a way that just transparently integrates with the dealership's sales process. And ePencil was one of those things that just became easily adoptable in any sales process because it did not require any training. It became the training once a customer had that in it. And we're going to look at an example of how Intice 360 with DealMaker solves for some of these processes. Now, the number 4 reason why digital retailing fails at most car dealerships today is that the sales process is complex, and we need to look at simplifying the sales process around digital retailing. So what do I mean by it's complex? is complex because we have all sorts of different vehicles that we are selling. We have different pricing rules that we have at the dealership. We might be in a negotiating environment. We might be in a one price environment. And how are we handling the trade value in real life versus how we're handling that trade-in value in a digital retailing deal? If 50% of your car deals have a trade and you're not in a position to be able to provide a real offer to a customer on a trade, 50% of those digital retailing deals are going to fail. If you are in a position where you're just using a range, an estimate, or just a book value for a trade-in value, and you don't give the customer the opportunity to be able to get a real offer for their trade, it's going to fail. Also, when we start to look at how we're structuring the deal, is all of the payment parameters for the lender programs incorporated into your digital retailing technology. If somebody's got $15,000 worth of negative equity, is that customer going to be able to actually get that deal financed? If there are any incentives available, does your digital retailing tool automatically serve up the best option for a retail payment, a special finance payment using the rebate? How is that happening on your digital retailing tool? The technology itself has to be able to make those determinations on the fly, just like if you had a skilled desk manager working the deal who knows the lender criteria and where you're going to go with it, how to put a number on a car, all of those pieces. And we can even we can even dig in a little bit further when we're looking at the complexities of a car deal with the credit applications, the security around that. What finance products are you going to be showing to your customers in the digital retailing technology? Is it going to be all decoded down to the individual vehicle? Do you have an opportunity to get a real FICO score to use that in creating that payment estimate, or are you asking your customer to tell you what they think their credit score is? When 1 point different, one way or the other, can make a huge difference in how that deal is structured. From a 719 to a 720, it might be a huge difference on how that payment gets calculated. Do you also give the customer the opportunity to get a trade payoff that is accurate enough not to be too high or too low? So again, car deals are complex. That's why we don't have vending machines, and that's why we have people involved in the process. Salespeople, sales managers, F&I managers. All of those positions within a dealership add value to the customer's experience. And if you have the right digital retailing technology, you'll be able to solve for these things, to be able to have a user experience, a user interface that is simple, that walks through all of the steps, that creates a transition piece from what a customer did online to what's happening in the dealership showroom. And the salespeople and sales manager to make it a seamless, transparent process so they are immediately trained and they immediately understand how to put a deal together without having to go through any type of training. And then number 4, having a digital retailing technology that takes on the burden of all the complexities in a way that is super simple for the customer to use. I'm going to take a minute and just share my screen real quick. And I'm going to go into a dealership website. I'm going to find a vehicle that I'm interested in buying. Let's say I want to buy a CRV. Let's say I like this one right here. You can see here, like automatically we are presenting payment options to the customer. I can go ahead and get my custom terms. Now, you can also see one of the things that we want to do with our DealMaker technology is to make it simple. As you can see, as soon as I open it up, it remembered all of the information that I've previously put into the system. So we're going to make it easy and go through the different steps that a customer may go through when doing a digital retailing technology. We're not going to make them start over at the beginning every single time. So in this case, I have all this information. Now, what I am going to do in this scenario, I'm going to move into what is called a Dealmaker showroom. I'm going to put this in showroom mode. And basically what that allows me to do is work my deal without automatically sending a lead into the dealership CRM. So this is a live dealership. So I'm going to go through this process. You can see here also that I can get a real value for my trade. So to do this, what I'm going to do is let me just go to a different one of our dealerships websites. I'm going to go to a used vehicle. I'm going to grab something that's a little bit newer. Let's say 2022. And this is the vehicle with 50,000 miles. So I'm going to come right here, pop in that VIN number, 50,000 miles. Simply rate my vehicle. I think it's 3 stars. I don't have 2 keys, and there has been an insurance claim paid on this vehicle. You can see here also, it's already remembered from a previous experience that I have added a trade payoff here. So we'll leave it at 15,000, or big green button right there. I can get a payoff by doing a soft credit pull, which is highly accurate based on what the lender has reported most recently to the credit bureau. And this is not going to be a 10-day payoff, but that's one of the things that you need to do when the customer comes into the dealership showroom. But we're going to get super close with this. In this case, I'm just going to say, all right. You can see that we're making it fun, a little bit of confetti, $13,000. I can upload images of the vehicle or take photos right on a mobile device. And then I'm going to get to the payment. So you can see here what made ePencil so popular that almost every desking solution copied it from 1999 with this 9-payment grid, because it's simple, it's easy, it makes sense. In my case, let's say I want to go $324 per month. That's the payment I want to go, but I don't want to put $8,000 down. I actually want to put $3,000 down, so that puts me at $511. I want to make sure my taxes and fees are turned on. Now, I can make any configuration changes here. I can get my credit score if I want and apply that to the deal. Or if I don't want to do a soft credit pull, I can say that I have a 790 plus credit score. I can look for offers. So maybe I have a college grad or there's a loyalty I can apply. So now $546 per month, that makes sense for me. I'm going to go ahead and take this next step. This is the finance menu, just like the finance menu you have in your dealership showroom. So you can see that the Dealmaker user experience is simple, it's easy, and it takes the customer step by step through the process. Get a trade, get your trade-in value, get the trade payoff, put a payment together, have the customer negotiate with themselves and pick a payment that's going to work, and then bring them to the finance office so they can see the finance options. And they can also learn about all the different finance options right inside of Dealmaker with videos. I'll play about 10 seconds of this one so you get an idea.
As a car owner, you know that unexpected repairs can be expensive and leave you feeling frustrated.
So that's going to explain what a vehicle service contract is. I can select the ones that I want. I can choose to put a little bit more money down. See the full transparency of the deal. I can finish it by completing a real credit application. And at this time, if I were to finish this step right here, it would go right into either DealerTrack, Route 1, 700 credit, wherever you want that credit app to go. And we're going to send a notification through an ADF XML saying, hey, this customer completed a credit application. In this case, I'm just going to skip it. I can schedule and request a delivery at home, at work, or at the dealership. I can schedule an appointment by clicking the date, the day part, and the time. And then we're going to finish with a simple needs assessment. What type of test drive they want to go on and what is most important about that vehicle. I'm not going to send a quote via email or to the dealership CRM, but I could. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And then this, what you're looking at right here, becomes that all-important transition piece. salesperson that's selling a car for 30 minutes, 30 days, or 30 years will understand what this is. There's the car, there's the deal, there's the trade, there's my credit score, and it says estimate right there. If they did a real FICO score, it would show that it's the real FICO score, and then the test drive appointment. There's all my finance and protection products. Here's our full disclosure for the finance manager, the desk manager, to see how I penciled this deal. We build in a range for a payment without products, a payment with products. So it's very seamless to an existing dealership experience. Here's my trade-in certificate. In this case, I selected it was 3 stars, but after your appraisal, if you say it's 2 stars, it's going to be worth $12,500. There's my check for that value. And if I did a pre-qualification, I would have my FICO score range on this worksheet as well. We recommend that you print these out, have them in a folder, ready for that customer when they come into the dealership, so they become that express shopper. I mean, what I like to think about this is if I am flying, and let's say that I fly Delta, and if I'm part of the business class, I paid a little bit extra, or I've earned to get that that type of experience. I get to go through a little bit different gate, a red gate versus a gray gate, and I get to go onto the plane first. So you have benefits. That's what customers are looking for when they do their digital retailing online, is they're looking for an express experience at the dealership. Are you providing an express experience for the customer when they come into the dealership? I can promise you, if you had this, you would be able to provide that shopper express experience. In this video, what we covered is why digital retailing fails at most dealerships, and how with Intice 360 and Shopper Express powered by Dealmaker, you can solve for that. I always appreciate viewers sticking around to the end of my videos. Of course, you're going to find this video and many others at Intice.com.